You betcha.
All right. There we are. We are live. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Let us know where you're tuning in from. We've got a good update for today. Last couple of days, we've been seeing a little bit more weakness in the altcoins. Folks, this is to be expected. Honestly, it's lovely whenever we wake up in the morning and we see more dollars in the account, but it's also part of the game. Remember, we're going into one of the riskiest types of strategies that are out there, and again, we're after the risk that the reason why we take these risks is because of the upside. Now, when we have something like what we've been seeing for the last 2 weeks, essentially, we had a nice, great big push by Bitcoin to make some new highs. Bunch of liquidity came into all the altcoins, and then they started to pull back. And even though Bitcoin even created a new high over this week, we're still seeing drop in prices on the altcoins. This is just what happens when the price goes down. People start to panic and they start offloading. They're like, oh, I lost 10%. Or you've got the dad that just went ahead and remortgaged the house because he heard that he heard his uncle talk about how he made 150% in the last 2 months, because it doesn't take a rocket scientist to make money during a bull market. So when they see Uncle Roger, making 150%, they think to themselves, oh, if I would have put 100,000 in, I could have $150,000. So then or $250,000, they'll go ahead and remortgage their house, and then they'll dive in, putting all that money in. And this is, I mean, I'm using an example that's a little bit more extreme with $100,000, but the example, the emotionality is the same when it's the life savings of the family and it's $5,000. So people are doing that, and then now the price is going down, people are panicking. The wife is letting the husband know, you shouldn't have done that. You gotta get that money back before we lose more. That's the emotions. Those are the emotions that are happening right now. And so we, though, next generation of merchant, we're not phased by this, by these things, simply because we hold in our mind a vision for what's happening through this. And we can also see that we are not technically in a bearish trend. That overall, like if we look at the 2-hour chart, yeah, we're in a bearish trend. But we don't make our wealth across a couple of weeks. We make it across several months, even several years in many cases. And so, yeah, that's what we're going through at the moment, is we're watching the emotionalities play out on the price action. And we don't have much to be afraid of, because, and we'll see as things go on here. Remember, as the faith in the dollar goes down, or as the faith in the dollar goes up, metals will go down. And I'm going to go ahead and reorganize my screen. There we go. And let's make it a little bit wider. Oh, I see. That's as far over as it goes over this way. Okay, no problem. Let's start with this. Silver now below that pivot point. So we are officially heading down the drain on silver. This is great. I love the look of this. This means that the faith in the fiat is going up. And because faith in the fiat now with Trump means faith in crypto, we're going to see this turn around probably within the next week. Gold, same idea, forming a new low, basically at the same time as silver. US 30 also dropping out. See what's happening here? We're seeing, and remember I was even saying, oh, we're due for a drive down, because this movement here had 12 pulses. Boom, breakout. So now we're down here. This is 42,000. We're down all the way from the all-time high on the Dow Jones. We are down 6%. That's a lot on the Dow Jones. Again, what's happening here? It's emotions. Look what's going on in crypto 30. Look at everybody's just dropping out. They're just like, oh, it's too scary. We got to leave. And so then they go and sell their positions and that drops the price more. This is normal, folks. And what happens when that price drops? All those institutions come in. Look at that price. It literally bounced off that pivot point that I have marked. Right there. Beautiful. Okay, so good. That the ripple works again. So that's that, folks. The crypto 30 is definitely showing some new support at the 26,900 level. Not to be, yeah. This is when I look at this, all of this support here is good. This is a good thing. What we may see happen is a push down to this level here. And the reason why is because they need the panic. They need people to panic sell so that the price drops and then they can come in and buy some more. This is all about institutional trading now. We cannot look at these markets as being a reflection of the value of the currency anymore because of how many of these assets are now being paper traded. They're selling contracts for these assets, not the actual assets anymore. So I'm just going to change the color of my light here. There we go. So this here is just market manipulation, getting the people to think that things are going bad so they would sell their positions to the next player. This is a zero-sum game. If someone's selling, someone's buying. And that is all determined by how anxious people get with their sales and buys. That's what it boils down to. It's interesting. The lighting is making it look green for some reason. Let's go like this. That didn't help. Okay. So let's move on. I, for some reason, still don't have Bitcoin up on here. I gotta get this done. Bitcoin, here we go. So we can see that we had that all-time high here, and now we've retraced, finding support just off of the 98,800. Is that right? The low is 98,700. What in the world? Oh yeah, look at that. Hey, that is a big, that's a big candle actually. So now finding support off of 99. What is this? Yeah, 98.7. Yeah. Yeah, it's easy to look at the last week. 2 weeks and just be like, oh my goodness, look at this drop. It went all the way from 105. What is this? 108. It peaked out at 108.3, and now it went dropping all the way down to 98. $10,000. Yes, it did. But now I'm going to show you. This is the 2-hour chart. I'm going to show you the daily chart, and you're going to see just how insignificant this movement really is. You see, we really don't have a pullback yet if we look at the daily chart. So things are doing fine. I'm just gonna compare or add signal. I need to get this one in my favorites. Get into the watch list here. Add watch list analysis, and it's still saying I got 30. Man, I don't know what to take out. Okay, well, anyways, Bitcoin is there sitting at, 102 right now, above the 100,000 mark. This will inch up slowly as time goes on. I believe we're going to see this inch up slowly until Ethereum comes and actually starts playing the game. So we're not seeing the same type of price action in Ethereum. Ethereum is actually pressing up against its former resistance because it's the laggard. It's the one taking its sweet ass time to to play the game along with the rest of the crypto world. And so it's just a matter of waiting, folks. Like what we're Ethereum is really more so used for these individual projects. That's really more so what we're watching. All of like Ethereum, ADA, Solana, Injective, these are all layer one coins, meaning they're the first thing that you'd get into coming out of fiat. And it's underneath those layer one coins that layer two coins get built. And that's where we get into individual ecosystems and smart contracts that have to do with, dApps and so on and so forth. So Ethereum itself isn't really experiencing the same type of action as Bitcoin, simply because the money just, if it goes into Ethereum, it's going directly into these other projects. But once Ethereum gets above this all-time high and the craze sets in, then we're going to be seeing all of these projects take off. Now, if we take a look at Ethereum, we've been basically consolidating within this large, like this is obviously a daily chart. So this range is huge, going all the way from, like, this was November 21 at just under $5,000. And it drops all the way to $800. Yeah, what is that? Let's go see what that low was. Yeah, that low's $880. So that's a big drop, right? But it never went below that, and it's been gradually going up ever since. Now creating another new high for this year. Just recently created a new high for the year. So this here is actually the barometer that I'll be watching. Bitcoin is great. Bitcoin is great to watch because you get a preview of what Ethereum is going to do. But this movement, let's go back to Bitcoin. That's basically what this was, right? Bitcoin was slowly going down, forming lower highs for quite a while. Well, that's what Ethereum has been doing. It's been going down for quite a while, and it only just recently, within the last, what is this here? This is on December 4th. It finally broke up above that trend, and it's been hovering since. We're basically consolidating around this pivot point. So finding support here will bring us closer to that all-time high. I believe that these highs that we've been seeing are going to continue as we reach that high. Might have a little bit of a pullback before finding support, probably along this area here where we are now finding resistance. That will be likely where we find some support, and then we'll be creating some all-time highs. This squiggly line here, I don't even remember why I made this. I think it was, it was saying that if we go up to here, we might see a retracement coming down, that 30% that we would normally see. But I believe that we've already seen that occur within the alts, because all of the altcoins are experiencing the same thing. And even we can see it reflected in how the crypto 30 pulled back, because this pullback here, it didn't quite reach the all-time high, but then it pulled back 15%. And some of these coins pulled back a lot more than that, like ADA after the all-time high. It pulled back 30%, right? Solana, it's pulled back 25%. None of these things, I know it can be discouraging. I know, and I don't like it either. It puts a little thing in the stomach. It's like, I should have sold so that I could buy today, and then that way I can increase the volume of my holdings. Yes, but we also have to recognize that none of us should be spending more than 2 hours in front of these screens anyways per day. We've got more important things to do than burn our retinas out. And that level of trading takes incredible patience and emotional fortitude. If you're getting shaken out by the emotionally, if you're getting shaken out now with this, you would definitely do very poorly in trading more high frequency. And that's just because it's even more emotional the further in you go, the closer in you zoom into the charts. The emotionality that you experience here, like look how slow that is. That's each bar is a day. But then if you go to the 2-hour chart and you're watching this thing, more than 2 hours a day, 3 hours a day, you're gonna go crazy. And so I want to teach kind of the middle of the road. I want to help people find the opportunities, ride the wave to the top, and then sell after all that. If you want to do it higher degree, like higher frequency, and maximize all of these, that's where you're needing to. That's where you're going to need to start finding another community. I'm going to make it sound like leave. No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that there are communities out there. That's what they do. They sit there on the screen for 2, 3, 5, 6, 10 hours a day, live streaming their work so that you can follow along. I want to help as many people as possible. And that's gonna take that's what I want to do. I want to help as many people as possible. Not everybody can spend that kind of time. Injective token, nice little retracement here, finding some new support. Looks like we're going a little bit lower. That's okay. We might be coming down. I can see that there is support here. We might be coming down to this $21 level. That's entirely possible. Modic pulled back again, definitely coming out of that wedge. That was a weak wedge, 2-hour wedge here. Yeah, so we're coming down. Looks like might even come down to rest around the 43-cent mark, which would be awesome. Going on sale. 3 protocol still forming new lows. Woo. Also finding new support on this line. Looks like might be coming down a little bit further. It's definitely tempting with these 2 bars coming down so far below that trend line. Could very well happen. Fetch, look at that. Finding itself some support. That's a big drop, eh? Look, this was just on the 6th, it was at $2. Now it's down 37%. Desync, also down, but finding some support off of 32 cents. 0 by 0, also down, but looking like finding support right here at 27 cents. It could come down here. Yeah, I mean, anything could happen. This is the market. This is the nature of the game. IOS or AIOS. This one here is consolidating. Actually, is not continuing to drop. That's a good sign. Anyone just came up with a new low. ARC. Yep, finding some support at looks like 3.3 cents. That's good. Link AI, big, huge drop from its all-time high. In fact, it's down 47%. Nothing wrong with this. This is to be expected. This is how it works. People come in and they start panicking and they just get emotional, and the price swings around all over the place. This is not even. This is the kind of thing that happens. I remember. You know what? I'm not going to bother. I'm not going to bother talking about it anymore. Let's just do the analysis. Nobody's on right now anyway. Neural AI finding support. Yeah, look at that. Whiplashed its way back down to this support here. Beam with a nice retracement coming down from its all-time high. Is that all-time high? No, that can't be all-time high. It is all-time high. Yeah, coming back from its all-time high, down 32%. PAL, a little bit of a drop here. Looks to be about the same, 30-some percent. 47%. FAR, not coming down. So the people that bought FAR, they haven't been selling nearly as much. IMX, forming new highs. You can see we actually have an upward pattern here where the lows are getting higher and the highs are getting higher. So this is a good sign. Super, look at that, creating new highs. A little bit of a pullback here over the last little while. That is definitely a pretty good pullback. 30%. We're ready for the next move up. Clearpool actually going bullish over this last little while. Why? Because it's a real world asset. This is something that people, when they see the opportunity that's available to them, they don't back down because it's actually a hard asset that's being traded online. Seed World, Sundog, basically all just hovering around where they bonk, coming back down to even my purchase point. Looks like it's time to add some more. NPC, same idea. So there we have it. That's market analysis for today. I know it's super fast. There's nobody else online, and it's because I got some links that are breaking on my website for some reason. So I have to go fix that up so that people can join us in studio. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a good rest of the day.